Welcome back. It's probably not something you want to talk about, but it's definitely something you need to talk about. It's estate planning. And joining me now is Collins Hunsaker, attorney at law firm Jeffrey Burr. Collins, thanks so much for coming in. I know not the topic everyone's ready to brace themselves for, but definitely something that we need to talk about. So we'll jump right into it. What exactly is estate planning and why is it so essential?
Well, it's like you said, it's not fun to talk about, but it's important. Estate planning is really organizing your wishes regarding the who's and hows, who's going to be involved in your affairs should you become incapacitated or ultimately pass away. So the who's going to be involved, who's going to take which task that you've assigned to them, and how do you want things to be handled. All
right, now let's talk about some of those misconceptions. What are some of them, and clarify them a little bit for us?
Misconceptions. So typically, I think the most common misconception is that a will is good enough, and that can lead to a lot of problems after a person passes away. Or that it's something that you can easily do yourself. I think there's a lot of mistakes that can happen, and ultimately the most important thing to remember about estate planning is that these documents that you create are going to speak for you when you cannot speak for yourself. So they have to be accurate, they have to be right, and the court can't try to interpret what a person's intent was beyond what is written in that legal document.
And something here in Nevada, you know, we have a lot of retirees who like to come here and settle, and this is kind of where they like to enjoy the rest of their life. So what should they be keeping in mind when it comes to their estate planning?
Well, we do have a lot of retirees that come here, and they usually have some type of estate planning in place from another state in which they created it. And I think the most important thing for them to consider is their documents, are their documents up to date? Are they consistent with the laws of Nevada? I think that's the most important for them to consider in regards to their own planning that they brought from another state.
All right, so Nevada also has some unique trust and tax laws, right? So how can these impact the estate planning, and what should people be aware of when creating them?
So I think that might fall into another misconception, is that these trusts can keep things from being taxable. Ultimately, there are some things that are very unique and very technical that can create some tax benefits to an estate, but generally speaking, whether or not you have a trust or not, that's not going to, avoid any potential tax exposure. But that being said, yeah, Nevada has some very unique laws. They have some great asset protection laws that revolve around trusts, and I think that is something that is unique to Nevada and something that someone should consider.
And do you have any tips for maybe if someone wants to bring this conversation up when they're around their family the next time they are?
Yeah, I do get a lot of questions about, who should I share these things with? Should I share them with the people I've named in the documents? And I think what I always tell people, it's unique. It's a unique answer to the person that is asking the question. Be careful what you ask for in relating these facts that you've decided upon yourself. But if you do want to discuss those things with your family, prepare them for what might happen. I think it's a good idea to at least tell them about the documents. Maybe not share the documents with them, but tell them about what the documents say, and be very clear as to what your wishes are.
All right, a lot of information here. So if you have any other questions, please reach out to Collins and the team at the law firm of Jeffrey Burr. That website, jeffreyburr.com, right there on your screen.